Happy Summerween! Welcome back to the channel. Today we're doing another fun Summerween reading vlog. This is a readathon hosted by Gabby of Gabby Reads. So if you haven't checked out her channel, obviously go do that. She's wonderful. But basically the theme is to just bring Halloween into the summer. So we're reading a bunch of horror, thriller, and mystery books all week long. All month long, really, in my case. So a few days ago, I uploaded a vlog that was me reading through some of my Summerween TBR. I obviously didn't get through them all, so we're back for more. Will I be reading all of these in this vlog? Questionable, but we will try to make a significant dent in this stack. So where should we begin? Let's decide. Well, I think the ones that I'm the most excited about, well, no, I know exactly which one I'm the most excited about. It's 80s Ghosts. I've never heard anyone talk about this before, but I found it on Indie Bookstore Day, and I've been dying to read it ever since. So I'm definitely reading this one in this vlog, mark my words. But we won't read it first because I want my most highly anticipated read to be at the very end. So what should we do first? We've got two books with the night sky on the cover, which is one of the prompts for Summerween. We also have these two books, which have purple and pink on the spines, which also has something to do with the prompts. So I think I'm going to prioritize the night sky and have the pink and purples be second priority. So I'm going to pick one of these to be first. I think that this one's shorter, but this one's newer. And it's also a debut. Is this a debut? It is! They're both debuts. That makes this really hard for me because I usually really like a debut. This one's selling me more because it's telling me that it's for people who love Jordan Peele's films and Stranger Things. I love both of those things. Should we read this one? Yeah, I think we're reading this one. So this is what we're going to start with. I do have multiple of these books on audiobooks, so I may be doing some tandem reading with these, especially because tomorrow and the next day I will be commuting to work, so I will have time for audiobooks specifically and not physical books at all. But yeah, I will keep you updated. Definitely we're reading this first. Definitely we're reading 80s Ghosts last. In between, we're gonna kind of go with the flow. It's gonna be mood read central over here. It's my favorite place to be. So yeah, I'm excited. Let's get to reading. Hey, little update, looking a little crusty. It's been a couple of days since we last spoke. I've been working for the last couple of days, and I spent time with my family because it was my dad's birthday this week. So I have gotten some reading done. Don't worry, I haven't been slacking, but I just haven't been filming anything. So I've been listening to the audiobook of Listen to Your Sister since I've been driving a lot this week. And I've made it a pretty significant way through. I'm at like 76%, so I only have like a few chapters left here. And I keep going back and forth between I'm bored and I like it. Like I don't have super strong feelings about it. There have been a few like brief scenes in the book that have been really good. And really interesting. Sorry, you can hear Clover click-clacking in the kitchen. She's pacing. Can you sit down? Anyway, so it's good Do I love it? No. I will say the audio narration is very good. There are different voices for all of the character POVs, and whenever it gets a little spooky, and there's a little spooky character that's talking, if you know, you know, they have specific voices for those characters as well, which makes it a lot more immersive. I feel like if I had been reading those scenes just with the book and not with the audio, I might have lost some of that immersion. But I don't know. I'm gonna try to read the rest of it in the book and not in the audio, and see how that goes. Hopefully I'll finish this pretty quickly this afternoon, because I really want to get to a new book. Like I said, this one is fine. It's fine. I can see how it would be compared to a Jordan Peele film, and I almost think that it would have been better as a film. I don't know if this needed to be a book. I think that I would really enjoy watching this as a horror movie. But as a horror book, it's kind of, it's just not captivating me like I want it to. And it's almost, I want to say, more like a family drama with horror elements, because truly it did not get creepy at all, really, until part 3, which is pretty significantly into the second half of the book. And I don't know if I just have really high expectations and high standards for horror novels, or if this is an understandable critique, but I feel like it shouldn't take that long for a horror book to feel like a horror book. I don't know. Maybe I just haven't read enough horror. And I guess this is also labeled as speculative fiction. I mean, it does say speculative horror, so it is a horror book. And people are saying it's seriously scary. I have not felt seriously scared. I have wanted to understand what's going on. I have been interested, invested even, but I have not been scared. It also says hilarious and terrifying, and kind of like I said a few weeks ago, when it comes to books that are labeled as funny, odds are I'm not gonna like them. So the fact that the word hilarious is on the back cover, I should have known. I should have known that I was gonna have some negative thoughts about this book. I should have known. But it's not the worst book I've ever read. I'm pretty certain it's gonna be in the 3-star range somewhere. But yeah, those are my thoughts so far. I'll let you know what I think when I finish it, because I'll probably finish it pretty soon, like in the next couple of hours. And then we'll move on to the next. A few hours later, I have finished the book. Did it take me longer than I expected? Yes. Was I also playing the audiobook on 2x speed? Yes. I have complicated feelings about this book, because the first half of it, I wasn't a huge fan. Second half, it started to pick up for me. I appreciated the mental health aspect of it. That was kind of something that I didn't really expect to play such a huge role. The role that trauma plays in this book, massive, which also comes with a lot of trigger warnings. We've got police brutality mentioned, we've got death all over. There's a little bit of like body horror elements in it as well. Violence, obviously it's a horror book. I mean, it's not sunshine and rainbows. This is dark. This is a dark book, and it continues to get darker and darker as you go along. The audiobook narration, like I said earlier, was excellent. I think that the narration is the only reason that I enjoyed the book as much as I did, because there were so many like haunting elements to this that I would have lost because of my internal reading voice. My internal reading voice is not adding like the creepy aspect. So to be listening to it, it really helped me get like sucked into what was happening in the world. So I highly recommend listening to the audiobook if you are interested in reading this, because it was just such an elevated experience for me. I said it before, I'll say it again, it would be better as a movie, I think. If anyone wants to pick up this book and make a movie out of it, I encourage you to do so, because the story is very good, but I just couldn't keep myself glued to the page in order to get to the good parts. Does that, you know what I mean? This is also a debut, so I'm definitely interested to see what else this author does in the future, because I think that she has like really strong potential to write something that I love in the future. Did I love this one? I liked it. Did not love it. It is not a 5-star book for me. I'm gonna end up rating it 3.5 because while it was slow in the beginning, I really did like the direction that it took in the end. So definitely a slow burn, but worth the read. So I don't regret reading it. I wish that I had just gone with the audiobook and stuck with that the whole time, because I started this off reading it physically and it just didn't get me as invested as I would have liked. So the audio version is elite. I prefer that for sure. But yeah, if you're looking for something dark, something like a little bit spooky, lots of family dynamics, if you're an oldest child and oldest daughter, I found myself feeling a lot of feelings about being an oldest child while I was reading this, for sure. It was good. 3.5. I'm ready to move on though. And what we're gonna move on to is 80s Ghosts, because I have hyped this one up in my mind so much that I just need to find out if I love it or not. I hope I do. What if this was a 5-star book? It might be. I don't know. I've never heard anyone talk about it before. I haven't looked at any reviews or really even looked at the average rating. So I don't know. It looks like it's gonna be a little bit mixed media. There are a couple pages I've seen that are like emails and things, I think. So that could be an interesting element. I'm gonna start reading this today. I probably won't get very far into it because I'm about to start a stream pretty soon and I need to make dinner before that. So I will update you on this when I have an update, but it probably won't be until tomorrow. Hello. Update. I have started 80s Ghosts. I'm not very far into it, not even 100 pages in, but I am liking it so far. The vibes are good. I'm moving right along, so I'll keep you updated on that. I also started the audiobook of American Rapture, and I think I'm gonna love it. I'm like crossing my fingers that it stays as captivating as it is right now, but it's so good. Maybe it's because of my own deeply rooted religious trauma that I'm like already connecting to it so much, but I am loving it and I can't wait to see where both of these books go. This is a super quick update because I'm about to have to go and grab dinner and watch a fireworks show. Woohoo. But I just wanted to tell you that before I left because I thought it was pretty important. I'm liking both books and that's a great sign. I hope it stays that way. Don't mind the clutter. Don't even pay attention. I just finished 80s Ghosts, and you know what? I loved it. I absolutely loved it. Are you kidding me? This was so good and deserves so much more recognition. When was this released? Let's see. 2024, so it's a relatively new release, but it deserves so much more hype. Whenever I checked the amount of reviews a couple of days ago, it was like just barely over 100. Come on, Clover. It was just barely over 100. So there are not a lot of people reading this book, and that needs to change. I loved it. It was, okay, so you know how whenever a book does ghosts or ghost hunting, and they make it into like, oh, somebody was playing a trick on us, or somebody, like, this was a hoax, it's not real, ghosts aren't real. Ghosts are real, baby. This book did an excellent job, like, making you feel the tension of the ghost hunting process, and the whole, like, step by step of trying to help a ghost move on. It was so good, and I liked all the characters. I liked the relationships between the characters. I didn't expect there to be any romantic tension at all, but there was just enough of that for me to be like, ooh, they're so cute. And the side characters were really good and very helpful. I would say very integral to the story. The setting was really cool. Being in an abandoned high school is gonna be interesting no matter what, I feel like. But they did a really good job with this. I think that this author has other books, and so now I'm really interested to check that one out as well, because this was very good. I really liked the way it was written. There was a little bit of mixed media happening, like audio transcripts here and there, which was cool. I liked that element a lot. There were a few, well, I noticed one for sure, and there might have been more that I missed, but there were a few spelling mistakes, which doesn't really take me out of the story, but I know for some people that's like a really big deal. And it was such a minor thing in this that it's not going to take off a full star or anything. I don't think that I can rate, I don't know. I don't think that I can rate this 5 stars. 4.75 feels really freaking good. You know, that this was great. I loved it. I'm so excited to recommend this to people and read more from this author. I'm just thrilled. I'm so happy that I got out of my 3-star slump. Finally. I know I read Rest Stop a few days ago, and that was 4.75, but that was a novella. This is a full-length book that I rated in the 4-star range, and that is a huge accomplishment for me right now. So those are my thoughts on 80s Ghosts for now. I am going to dedicate myself to reading American Rapture, and I think I will also begin Wake Up and Open Your Eyes very soon. Especially since I'm reading American Rapture on audio mostly. I think that that will be my audio physical read, and then Wake Up and Open Your Eyes will be my physical read, because I don't have that one on audio. Anyway, you don't need to know all that. I'll update you whenever I have more to say. A quick non-bookish update. We impromptu did a bunch of house errands today. If you don't know, we moved into this house about 2 years ago. Needed a lot of work. Needed a lot of work done. And that included upgrading some furniture, etc. We ended up finding this couch along with its twin, which is in my office, for less than $200, and they're both pull-out couches, so we have 2 guest beds now, which is huge news. But it took us like the entire day to get this in here, get our old couches out and to Goodwill. You know, it just took a long time. So I haven't been reading much today. I'm planning to read for the rest of the afternoon. And while I'm folding laundry and stuff, I'm going to listen to American Rapture on audio. So I'm hoping to make some pretty significant progress on that, because I only have like 2 more days before I need to have this edited and uploaded. So I gotta wrap it up, baby. But I wanted to give you that little update because you'll be seeing this new couch in the videos a lot. So I'm excited about it. Look at the cute little pillows that match. Oh, I love it so much. And it's so retro. It's like almost paisley, but it's not because it's leaves. Should I give you a little detail shot? I mean, come on. Look at how cutie that is. It's beautiful. Anyway, that's all I had to say. I'm going to start reading. I'm going to fold my laundry. We're getting stuff done. Productive day. Woohoo. Sorry the lighting's kind of meh. It's really cloudy today, so I don't have the natural lighting that I usually have. Anyway, I am making significant progress in this. I've been actually reading it more in the physical book, but I also really like the audio narration, so I've been kind of going back and forth. But look at how far I am in that. I've been zooming through this. What chapter is this? It doesn't tell me what chapter, but I'm on page 255. I think that's like almost 70% in, and it's a hit. I'm loving it. This could potentially, depending on how this ends, this could be a 5-star read. This could be a 5-star read, and I'm really excited and I'm loving it so much, and I really hope that it doesn't disappoint me. I have a feeling that some of the characters that I'm getting attached to are going to die. But you know what? That's just a part of an apocalyptic story, I suppose. I didn't realize that I was gonna like a zombie-esque horror. I think this is my first time reading a book like this. I've always enjoyed like most zombie movies and shows that I've come across, like The Last of Us. I've only seen the first season so far, but I loved it. World War Z, when that came out, I really enjoyed that. You know, like I've enjoyed zombie media before, but I've never read it in book form. So I'm kind of surprised that I'm enjoying this. I'm honestly, like, it's giving me the same vibes as a zombie movie. Like, there's tension, there's intensity, there's a little bit of gore, but not so much where it's like off-putting. And even though not every moment is horrific, there's always an undertone of you're not safe. And that is exactly what I want from a horror book. Because we don't have to be go, go, go all the time, but as long as there is like an overall undertone of something's not right here, usually I'm gonna enjoy it. And this one has a good balance of like really high intensity moments and low intensity moments, but I've never been bored. Never been bored. I'm loving this so much. It's making me want to read more from this author. I want to read Mayfly because I've heard great things about it. But yeah, that's my update for now. Sorry I haven't filmed any clips of me reading. I've just simply forgotten that cameras exist, and all I care about is this book. So I'm gonna keep reading. I'll let you know when I finish it, and then we'll move on to probably the last book of this vlog. Is this the best book I've ever read? You know what? We're gonna finish here. We're gonna finish on a 5-star read. You heard me right. 5 stars. 5 stars. Do I need to say it again? 5 stars. Oh my God. I didn't have any expectations for this going in. I was just kind of like, oh, you know, apocalypse, religious trauma, this could be good. It was fantastic. I loved being in the mind of Sophie. I felt so tied to her. So many of her thoughts were thoughts that I have had throughout my childhood, or like thoughts that were similar to thoughts that I had in my childhood. Like, I loved Sophie so much, and watching her like grow up so rapidly during such a time of unrest and chaos, like in a pandemic, it felt so similar to pieces of 2020. And if you're someone who does not like reading about pandemic books, this is not going to be for you, I don't think. But it was it for me. It was it for me. I loved Sophie. I loved Morrow. I loved Ben. I loved all of the characters that we were able to get to know and love so deeply. I loved these characters so deeply, and losing any of them would have been such a punch in the gut. So you can imagine what this book did to me. It was so good. It's like I said before, it was the perfect balance of high intensity and low intensity. You had some really, really sweet moments between Sophie and Ben specifically, but honestly, Sophie and all of the characters had some really precious interactions, and she grew so much because of the people that were taking care of her and teaching her things, and it was just so lovely to see. So this is not just horror. This is everything. This is friendship. It is first love. It is horror. It's learning that knowledge is power. It is gay awakening, queer representation, love for your siblings. It's just everything. And also in the very beginning of this book, before the pandemic just erupts and destroys everything, Sophie has an interaction with her librarian that really unlocks something in her. I think it like sparks a drive for freedom and curiosity that she had before, but it wasn't really being nurtured because her parents were so hell-bent on sheltering her and keeping her pure and hiding her from the world around her. And this librarian was able to open up a door to Sophie finding herself and finding freedom that she had been longing for, but previously thought was sinful or wicked, or demonic possession even. And that just was so cool to read. I love librarians. Support your local library, or else you're not my friend if you don't have a library card. That's harsh, but get a library card. Anyway, I love this book so much. Like, I'm never gonna stop thinking about it. I already want to reread it. I'm gonna own this book. And I don't usually say that after reading a library book. Usually I can, like, one and done. I don't have to own it. This book I have to own. I have to own it. It has to be on my shelves permanently. permanently. This is the last book we're going to read in this vlog, but before I go, I do want to share with you what we have left to read during Summerween, which is what you will be hearing about next week in next week's reading vlog. So here are the rest of the books that we have that were on my TBR for Summerween. I won't finish them all during Summerween week, but I will be finishing them all during the month of July. That's the plan, at least. So the plan is I'll be doing a reading vlog for these 3 books. We got Wake Up and Open Your Eyes, which I'm very excited about, and doing a buddy read with Jakey K Reads. So go check Jakey K out if you like. Bad Cree by Jessica Johns and The Return by Rachel Harrison. So chaos, just chaos. So yeah, that's what's happening next week. I'm gonna start reading these pretty soon, and I can't wait to let you know what I think. This is such a great note to end on with a 5-star read. I'm just so thrilled. This is my first 5-star read of the month, I think. And such a good one. I'm so excited. Oh wow. Subscribe if you want to see all of that. Subscribe for more bookish content, specifically horror and spooky content during Summerween. And like this video if you liked it. Leave a comment if you read any of these books or if you had any thoughts about my thoughts. And I'll see you next week. Happy Summerween.